This is the Global Economic Scrap Metal Commodities and Recycling Report by BENLEE Roll-Off Trailers and Lugger Trucks, August 5th, 2019. U.S. steel production rose to 1.884 million tons as slow growth continues in the U.S., driven by a strong consumer. Oil fell to $55.11 a barrel on global slowing that is reducing demand through all parts of the global economy. U.S. oil production rose to 12.2 million barrels per day, near the all-time record, as rigs came back online after the recent storms. Shale oil technology remains terrific, but low prices remain a concern to the industry. Iron ore fell to $112.50 a ton, but remains high on good but slowing demand growth and reduced supply problems in Brazil. Scrap steel #1 heavy melt is rising this month and could be up about $20 a gross ton, so $248 a gross ton on continued slow demand growth. Pricing will be known in a few days. Hot rolled coil steel rose to $29.63 on more steel mill price increases due to the very high iron ore prices we just talked about, not so much demand increases. Copper fell to $2.57 a pound, a multi-year low as the U.S. and global economy continues to slow. Remember, copper is known as doctor metal. The health of the economy can be based on the price of copper, and copper is not doing well. Aluminum fell to 79.2 cents, also remaining very low due to the same global economic slowing. June's U.S. trade deficit improved slightly, so less bad, but not in a good way. Exports were down a big $4.4 billion, with less exports of cars and pharmaceutical goods, again, out of the U.S. And imports were down a bigger $4.6 billion, with less oil imports. July's IHS Manufacturing Index fell to 50.4. So since above 50, it means growth, but it's the slowest growth since September 2009. Export orders had contracted, and that was a big part. July's jobs report had 164,000 jobs created, which is trending down. As a positive, though, wages were up 3.2%, but as a negative, the average work week was down 0.1% to only 34.3 hours. July's unemployment rate remained steady at 3.7%. Steady is good news as jobs are being created as new people enter the workforce. A very low percent unemployed is bad, and it's inflationary. July's labor force participation rate rose slightly to 63%, meaning only 63% of the people over 16 years of age that could work are working. Rising means there are less people sitting at home getting government benefits, and more people are in the workforce. That means that they are participating and paying taxes. July's U.S. consumer confidence was confirmed at 98.4. Future expectations were higher than initial readings, while current expectations were weaker than previously estimated. Wall Street's Dow Jones average fell 707 points to 26,485 despite the big interest rate cut this week, and as the trade deficit ramped up with China and more threats of European, auto, French, and British tariffs. BENLEE is proud to be the owner and manufacturer of the Lugger truck. After our acquisition of Huge Haul, and that was Heil's Lugger truck division. Importantly, though, you can now rent Lugger trucks from Premier Truck Sales and Rental, and you can buy great used Lugger trucks from Premier as well. As a closing, our prayers and thoughts are to the victims and their families of the horrific shooting in El Paso and Dayton, Ohio.